Welcome. In this video, we're going to walk through transactions in marginSHARK, or transfers as we call them. And a transfer is any time you move an item in or out of inventory. So there's a couple of things we need to know about marginSHARK for this all to make sense. And the first one is marginSHARK is not trying to replace your accounting system like QuickBooks or whatnot. They do an awesome job for payroll, for receiving payments from customers, making payments to vendors, and the problem with them is they're expensive on a per user basis, and they don't necessarily give you the information you need at an item level to really understand your costs and help drive down your costs so you can make more money. So marginSHARK, again, we're not going to move any money. We're empowering your team to participate in the process, hopefully increase customer satisfaction while you make more money. So everything in marginSHARK that's a transfer is going to be done at the item level. So if you got an order from a customer for a couple items, we'll go ahead and look at it at an individual level, understand our costs, and we'll walk through this right now. But there's situations where you have one item that goes into a big box and you can put little items in there and they're essentially free for shipping. It's that kind of level of granularity we're going to be able to have the ability to document and understand through this process. So right now, I'm going to give a demonstration of the gross profit version of marginSHARK. So we're going to understand our sales revenue information, compare that to our cost, and come up with profitability. If we're using the transaction only or the cost of goods version of marginSHARK, which I'll do in another video, we're really just looking at our cost of goods. We're not tracking any revenue information. There's some advantages for certain businesses to do it that way. But again, if you're not reducing your costs, you're not making any more money. So the goal is the same. You can see here on our inventory transfers, we have none. We're still using our demo account, have yet to create one. And you can see the different transfers you can do. And each one has a specific process so that we can capture the unique costs of that sales channel. The direct sale version is going to be, something that's your retail store, or you get a purchase order from a customer directly. You may have commissions and packaging that you want to track. Website sales, there might be payment fees that are unique to that sales channel. Amazon FBA sales, so if you're selling on Amazon Prime, the cost to ship to Amazon needs to be accounted for. And then you got to pay the commissions back to Amazon when you sell an item. And then there's some non-revenue transfers in terms of like scrapping inventory, or you're doing cycle counts and you see that you're missing some items or you have more than what you have. This is all going to come in to give you better visibility of your overall cost and profitability. So to start off, let's just go ahead and do a direct sale. This is our list, just like items. We're going to hit new up here. And let's say we sell our mountain bike that we created in our last video. We've got 2 sold, and they're going to come in, or we want them to go out on the 23rd. And we're going to want them to ship from main inventory. If it's Amazon Prime, it's going to default to Amazon, but you may have multiple inventory locations, or none. So none would be used in the case of you have a sample that you want to ship out. You're not going to actually move inventory. You just want to track the cost and the revenue. And a lot of systems wouldn't have this, but again, we're trying to help you make more money and understand what's going on. So that is an option that makes sense some of the time. Here, we're going to go through our revenue and then ultimately through our costs. But revenue, first box is going to be the total revenue for the items. So if the order was for $654 for the 2 mountain bikes total, we're going to put in our total tax if there is tax, and what we're charging the customer for shipping, maybe 0. If we have sales commissions, let's say we pay our salesperson $25 for the sales of those 2 bikes. If there's any packaging that's special, these are going to be items that are not on our BOM, and again at a per item level. Maybe we have to put in special labels and warranty instructions. Anything that's not on the BOM we can capture here. And then our estimate for shipping costs, let's say at this stage we think it's $30. We'll know when we actually ship the item and create the labels, and these things change all the time. And then lastly, we have notes, and this is going to be our transaction note, and we could put in who our customer is, or maybe an order number, And again, this could be aligned to a purchase order in your accounting system. So let's hit submit. And now we come back to our dashboard. We see here, we now have a backlog of $702 of revenue. We have no shipments, so the profitability and all that stuff is still empty. Nothing actually transacts until you move it out of inventory. This is just a request at this point. And we now have an item in our panel on inventory transfers to notify shipping or the factory that we have something we need to do. So let's go ahead and engage this. We're now on our transfer number T1, our first transfer, and you can see what the item is, what our notes were. We're going to ship 2. I'm the one that requested it. We know when it needs to ship. And the first bit of information that's really useful is we know we have 20 in inventory. We need to ship 2, so it's green, telling us we're good to go. If this was red, we may at this point want to go create a job or a purchase order for a part. And this is going to help us, drive more builds and orders and make sure we're heading in the right direction. So this one's pretty straightforward. We've got 20, we need 2. Let's go ahead, confirm the transfer. It's ready to go. We'll just say this is tomorrow for the sake of doing a demo. We've got 2 ready to go. Our actual shipping cost is $31.50. We just went into FedEx, saw that. And we can enter a permanent note. You don't need to, but this is a note that's not editable. Some people use it for a serial number or something like that you're going to want to be able to track. So we hit submit, and it takes us back to our dashboard. You can see now those items in our system are transacted out into our revenue location, and we now have shipments shown, our backlog 0. We're starting to build out our graph of our rolling 12 months. We've got our profitability, our gross margin, and you can see our inventory transfers are empty, so that's good. If we want to dig in a little bit, we can go to our mountain bike and get a little more information. You can see we're now at 18 items for inventory. We've got a 90 days use is 2. That's what we sold. And over that time period, we don't have a big history here, but if we kept this sales rate, we'd have 10 days of inventory on hand. So again, this is going to be useful information to help make sure we maintain proper inventory levels. If we come down here to our sales panel, every time you make a sale in this different channel, it's going to show up here. Obviously, we only have the one, the direct. We can look at 30, 90, 365-day views and see how many we sold, our total revenue, costs, and profit, as well as an average of by the unit. And if you have multiple sales channels, you're going to see the total or the average across those and really understand our profitability for this item. Which channels, do we need to change our pricing in Amazon because we're losing money, but we're making money direct? Gives you that visibility of really managing profitability at the item level. And lastly, you can come into your history. You can see here when the transfer was requested, when it was completed. You can click on that and really get a lot more information in terms of who requested it, who completed it when. If it was late, you'd see red, and dig into the totals in terms of all revenue, all costs for this transfer, what the revenue was, where it came from in terms of shipping, as well as the costs. We can have a permanent history of how much commission we paid, the tax, the shipping, roll these up and really get a good view of profitability on this item. I think you'll be amazed on some of the detail, especially from Amazon, where your commissions change back to them. You'll catch errors. Really useful information to helping you and your company make more money, and that's the goal. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or want to create an account for your business, just go to marginshark.com. Thank you.